Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 122 of the Membership Guys podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morrison, and this is the show where I dispense proven practical tips and advice for membership site owners. And today is a little bit of a follow-up episode. Last episode 121, we talked about whether or not you actually need to have a community. So whether you need to have a forum or a Facebook group, some sort of community platform in your membership. We talk a lot about the importance of community, but as we covered in the last episode, it's not always something you absolutely need to have if it's not the right fit for you, for your topic, or for your audience. But as we said in that last episode, if you choose not to have a community, then you need to work that little bit harder in other areas in order to ensure that you're actually engaging your members and connecting with them in a way that's going to get them actually logging in, using your site, using what they pay for, and ultimately sticking around for longer. And one of the ways that you can get that engagement in the absence of a community, or even if you do have a community and you're just looking for other angles to improve member engagement, one of the areas you can do that with is in the content that you're actually creating and delivering to your members. So in today's episode, we're going to go into 5 types of content that will help to build member engagement. But before we do that, I want to take this chance to remind you that the Membership Guys podcast is brought to you by Member Site Academy, the #1 training community for membership site owners. Not only do members of our academy get full access to our training library that includes all of our in-depth practical courses, training workshops from ourselves, from guest experts like Chris Ducker, Luria Petrucci, Mike Vardy, and many more. You also get access to special member-only perks, discounts, tools, plugins, and themes, as well as step-by-step guidance through the whole journey of building and growing a successful membership with our membership roadmap. And if that wasn't enough, you also get to tap into the collective knowledge and experience of myself, Callie, and hundreds of membership site owners just like you inside our friendly and supportive community. And these guys have your back every step of the way. So if you're serious about growing your membership, you need to be a part of Member Site Academy. Head on over to membersiteacademy.com today to join us, and I'll see you inside the academy. Okay, so let's talk about how to build member engagement with your content. When you're charging a monthly payment for access to your membership site, member engagement is key. It's not enough to just have static content that never changes, because once that's been consumed by your members, then they've got very little reason to stick around. And if you don't have a community element to your site, then that situation's going to get worse. Many membership site owners set out with the intention of continuously adding new courses, new premium content to their site. However, this typically proves easier said than done, and often the logistics of continuously delivering real in-depth, real high-level content can be way too great an undertaking, especially if you're going it alone or if you have a very small team. But fortunately, there are a number of different types of content that you can produce that will add value to your membership site and give your members something to get their teeth into without requiring a huge amount of effort on your part in order to spark that engagement. The first type of content that you could create are roundup posts. So if your membership site does include a community, or if it's structured in such a way that there's lots of smaller content items, so lots of individual lessons, tutorials, member blog posts, articles, if you have a lot of those smaller types of deliverables being released every day or several times a week, then chances are even the most active and engaged members won't be able to keep up with everything that's going on. This is where having roundup posts or roundup emails can be very useful. So this could involve creating a weekly screencast video where you're actually showing people as you go through a selection of blog posts, perhaps that are either member only or even your public content, premium content, tutorials, lessons, downloads, forum topics, Facebook group topics, essentially just summarizing what's been discussed, what's been published, and providing tidbits of insight as you go along. This is something that's simple and easy to produce. It then becomes its own standalone piece of content. It is your weekly show, for your membership where you're summing up all of the best bits. Providing that makes it easier for people to stay on top of what's going on in your membership, to feel informed, and to continue to stay engaged even if they haven't had a chance to log in several times that week and engage and use the content for themselves. So this sort of thing can prove useful and in some cases vital to keeping your members updated and keeping them in the loop on what's going on. So not only do these sort of roundup posts, and this can be an email, this can simply be a topic in your community if you choose to have one, it can be a video you send people, you could even use things like Facebook Messenger bots to deliver these sort of updates to your members. This stuff helps people stay engaged and up to date with what's going on. And if you are doing things like highlighting discussions and topics in a community, then you'll find that the members whose posts and contributions you highlight in your roundup, they then appreciate being singled out in a positive way. It's also a great advertisement for how active your membership is, and that can encourage people who perhaps haven't been as engaged to actually pay attention, to join in and to take part. If creating a video for this sort of roundup is a little bit too much in terms of additional work, then as we mentioned, you can consider doing it just as an email or a standard article. Maybe you even publish it publicly on your blog so that everybody can see it and they get a taste of what they're missing out on in your membership. So that's the first type of engagement driving content. The second are member challenges. Whatever your niche, whatever your product, your members will be drawn to what you're offering because they're looking to accomplish a goal of some sort. And as such, the more you're able to provide them with the results that they seek, the more engaged and invested they're going to be in your membership site on an ongoing basis. Monthly challenges are a great way of providing focus for your members, setting them goals for them to achieve and providing the motivation, the accountability and the support that helps them to get results. Running regular challenges can require little more than coming up with an idea, laying out some basic guidance, and providing a platform for your members to record their progress and make themselves publicly accountable to you and to fellow members. Again, this is something that if you do have a community can be done in there, but it's also something whereby they submit their updates directly to you and you perhaps send out a group email to any of your members who are participating in the challenge. There's lots of ways of being able to provide this sort of accountability to your members, and if you get people all working together towards a specific goal or outcome, then that provides not only a great deal of camaraderie, but also it skyrockets the engagement in your site. If you can help people get a result, they are going to build up so much goodwill for you, and that goodwill is going to help prolong the amount of time somebody stays a member of your membership. The third type of content you can create that drives engagement are member hangouts. There's a lot of value to be had in running informal, free-flowing sessions where you're not necessarily teaching something or providing a focused message, but instead you're just hanging out with your members on a live call, perhaps using a tool like Zoom, where everybody's just in this virtual room together and you're just hanging out. There's no motive. There's not necessarily even an agenda. It's not a case of these guys are turning up to listen to you teach them something. You're just spending time together, getting to know each other and giving them an opportunity to chat with you and to ask you questions. Of course, you can work in some key points that you want to actually address during these hangouts. So you may decide that actually every hangout session you do with your members starts with a little recap of what's been going on in your membership that month. Maybe you have a dedicated time for questions and answers, or maybe you are just shooting the breeze, talking about what you're working on, telling stories, and just getting to know each other and building that connection. This type of content can really help to get your personality across, which can sometimes be the defining factor or the differentiator of why somebody will remain a member and will engage with you and your brand. A member hangout was perhaps one of the easiest ways of producing ongoing regular content with minimal preparation. And you can use tools like Google's Hangouts on Air, or recently rebranded as YouTube Live, or one that we're becoming very fond of recently called Zoom, which you can utilize to bring everyone on screen. Everyone can come on, they can all see each other, they can chat away, and it makes for a real great virtual environment. These sorts of tools make it increasingly easy to conduct a really valuable, really fun session with minimal technical hurdles too. So it's almost a no-brainer to do these more informal member hangouts, whether you do them as office hours, Q&As, a chance for people to just pick your brains, or just a chance to get to know each other for 30, 45 minutes a week, or maybe an hour or two every month. So hangouts are the third type of engagement driving content you might try in your membership. The fourth are live training or member coaching calls. So rather than spending countless hours laboring over epic courses with dozens of modules and countless lessons, you could consider running live training sessions for your members if you're not already doing so. Admittedly, these are going to take a little more work than, say, a roundup post or a casual member hangout, but they'll also require less work than a fully fledged course would, enabling you to deliver premium content far more easily. Running live training sessions, essentially member webinars of 60 to 90 minutes in length, means you can zone in on very specific aspects of your membership topic, focusing on individual techniques or issues that perhaps would be lost or skipped over in a larger or broader course. Delivering these sessions live means less messing around, fine-tuning and getting everything perfect in advance, and your members will usually forgive and even expect things to be a little rougher around the edges when you're delivering in a live format. Recording these sessions and then adding those recordings to an archive on your site means you're continuously building the value proposition of your site too for anyone who's not able to turn up live. So we'd absolutely recommend working in live training or live member coaching calls into your content strategy. And the final type of content you can deliver through your membership that can really help drive engagement more than the typical premium static content like courses, tutorials, and so on are member feedback sessions. So in the early days of your membership site, it might be possible to interact with each member on a one-on-one basis. However, as your business and as your membership grows, it simply won't be feasible to keep this up. As the figurehead, the expert, the authority amongst your community, demand for your attention and input will be high. So having a means to provide direct member feedback without it taking too heavy a toll on your time can be crucial, not just for your own sanity, but also for keeping members happy and engaged. The way in which you'll do this will, of course, depend on the nature of your product and of your community. Some membership site owners include a specific number of feedback opportunities that each member gets. So, for example, a site that's dedicated to teaching small business marketing could offer a review or a feedback on 2 pieces of marketing materials for each member every month. If you do have a forum, you could simply set up a section that is dedicated for feedback, whereby people can post their requests for feedback, and then once per week, you spend a little bit of time responding to those requests, or even going a step further and recording a video once a week where you actually go through each feedback request and provide that personal feedback on camera. If you implement boundaries and set expectations for your members in terms of the nature and the degree of feedback that you're going to provide, then this can be a great way of interacting with your members and keeping them engaged on your site without filling up your diary with lots of one-on-one time. So whether you implement just one of these content ideas or all 5 of them, having means to maintain engagement and publish valuable content for your members with relatively minimum effort is going to help you to improve churn and ensure that you retain happy, engaged members. So as a recap, the 5 types of content you should consider adding to your membership site in order to build engagement. Roundup posts, where once a week or once a month, you're providing a high-level summary of everything that's gone on in your community, all the content that you put out there, or anything your members need to know. That can help keep people informed, up to date, and avoid them feeling that they're slipping behind if they haven't been able to log in for a few weeks. Second type, member challenges. If you can get people working towards a specific goal and, more importantly, help them to get a result, they will thank you for it with their loyalty. Third type are informal member hangouts. Don't underestimate the value of enabling people to just spend a little bit of time with you, pick your brains, ask you questions. And it's also an opportunity for you to get to know your members more, to ask them questions, and to keep them up to date on what you're working on in the membership. Fourth type are live training webinars or member coaching calls, where it's very much more about the delivery of premium content, but you're doing it in a live format that enables you to strip back some of the perfectionism that goes into creating courses while also zoning in on very specific elements of your topic, or being able to spend some one-on-one time with members whereby other people get to listen in and watch in on the coaching call and take their own lessons and takeaways from that too. And then the final type is providing some form of member feedback, whether it is a dedicated one-on-one private feedback channel or whether it's a public forum whereby people post the stuff they want your comments on and you then provide that feedback publicly, and then you then chime in on that once a week or so. This can be really, really engaging and a manageable way of providing one-on-one attention, again, without filling up your diary with lots of private calls or lots of dedicated times for each member. So hopefully this has been useful. Hopefully it's given you some stuff to think about. I'd love to hear if you decide to implement one or more of these ideas, or if you're already doing some of the stuff we're talking about. I'd love to hear what's working well for you, or maybe something you've tried that hasn't worked quite as well and the lessons you've taken from it. If you're in our Facebook group, let me know your thoughts. Let me know any questions you have. Let me know your own experiences. If you're not in the group, head on over to talkmemberships.com. Punch that into your web browser. That'll take you to the right place. Or just search for Membership Mastermind on Facebook and it'll bring it all up. And of course, if you are an Academy member, then we're talking every day inside MemberSite Academy anyway, so let's chat about this. We'll have a discussion thread up dedicated to this podcast episode, so post any thoughts that you have in there. And if you're not an Academy member, what are you playing at? You need to be part of the Academy. It's a no-brainer. I'm not going to bang on that drum. I mentioned the Academy enough. You know the deal. Go over to membersiteacademy.com, check it out, and it'll be obvious why you need to join the #1 training resource for membership site owners. That is it from me for this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully it's been worth your while. I'll be back again next week, as ever, with another installment of the Membership Guys podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out the membersiteacademy.com. The MemberSite Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. So whether you're still figuring out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the MemberSite Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement and advice, the MemberSite Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage and grow a successful membership website. So check it out at membersiteacademy.com.